Our good buddy Matt Lee joins us once again, and some real estate issues to pass on to you. And specifically, we're talking about brand new builds in the city versus out in the country.
Yes.
There are differences, things that you should know about. When we say country, though, give us some examples of areas.
Well, anywhere that you can
Battersea.
find a lot that, yeah, you're going to be dealing with a well and septic. You could be going towards Odessa, you could be going towards Sydenham, you could be going towards Verona, you could be going up Highway 15.
Are there a lot of lots, those many lots for sale?
They do come up. I don't see a lot for sale right now, but I mean, if you go on to the realtor.ca and you actually put in vacant lots, you can see exactly what's out there. But I mean, you have to go in and you have to look for the right lot, and you have to make sure. The main thing is that either it has a well or you can find good water, because around the area of Kingston we run into times where there's areas that don't have great water, so you want to check it.
Okay, so we're talking about just fields, for instance.
Yeah.
The fields that's up for sale and you want to build.
Fields or forest, yeah, absolutely. And you go in and you want to buy and build. And basically there's two different processes. The one that you run into that a lot of people are thinking, okay, I want to buy the lot. And you either have to get it financed through Scotia or TD or two banks that will do vacant land financing. And then you have to find a builder that you want to build your house. At that point, you kind of sit down, you do your process of pricing the property and what the builder's going to build it for, and then you have to go to the bank or your broker to get it financed.
Now, in this situation, we're not talking about just a bungalow if you want to build in the country. We're probably talking about someone's dream home.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could have any different situation. They're going to do a draw on the financing, whether it's a small bungalow. We can get into whether it's 1,100 square feet or you build a 6,000 square foot house. It's basically, you have to look at what the financing process is for the bank that you're dealing with or the broker that you're dealing with, because they only give you a certain amount of money for the foundation, and then they give you another amount of money for the structure itself, and then they start giving you money for insulation. So you have to make sure you know how much money is coming out and how their draws work, because the builder requires a certain amount of money to pay his guys and for the material. So it is a bit of a process. It is a bit of a stress thing that you want to make sure that you're ready for. The other process is that what I'm seeing right now is that there is a few builders out there that will do it as a full package. And they will basically sit down, go through their plans of what they have. They will even consider buying the lot. They'll put it all in one package, and then you can turn around and you can buy it from them as a conventional mortgage.
So they'll put all that money up front themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's easier for them to deal with. They take care of it. There are different people that are out there that, there's different builders that own different lots. So if you're looking around and you say, okay, I'm looking at this, and you see a plan that is on a house that says, X amount of dollars, and this is what the house is, you might be able to change that style of house on that lot, but that's the particular area you want. So, I mean, there is options out there. If you're thinking of building new in the country, it's not impossible.
Okay, as opposed to already current subdivisions that are underway in the city in the West End or the East End, for instance.
Yeah, so these guys, these subdivisions, they have kind of their packages set up already because they have so many guys that are working for them. They have certain trades and certain buildings at the same time, so therefore they roll them through, and therefore they keep those people there, and that's why you get a good house for a reasonable price.
Okay.
So.
Is there an advantage with one over the other? I guess it depends on the person's tastes.
I think it depends on the person's taste. I mean, if somebody's looking at building in the country and they say, you know what, I just want a couple acres, I want to be able to have the kids that can play, or I want to have my own space. Somebody that wants to build that might not want to be in town, or vice versa. Some people don't want to be in the country. They want their kids or family to be close to all the amenities. They don't want to run all over the place. So it's personal preference.
Okay. What about school buses? I guess that's something to consider too, if you're out in the
country.
country.
So I would go onto the Limestone School Board website, and you can type in an address. And whether if a vacant lot doesn't have a Firefax number yet, you can type in the neighbor's address. Just to see where your children are going to school. Because if you get out into the country and all of a sudden you get onto side roads,
and there's no school buses,
you start to think, are you going to Elginburg? Are you going to Inverie? Are you going to Sydenham? Which school are you going to go to? And you want to just set up to see how long their bus ride is going to be, and can they come to town? Are they going to be going in on Highway 15? So.
I love taking a drive sometimes in the country, and you see these homes on these big lots, and they have a long driveway.
Yeah.
And there's like a little hut at the end of the driveway for the child to stay warm while they're waiting for the bus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You got to build that too.
absolutely.
You
You got to
consider
price that
little hut.
in. Yeah, that's right. Price it in.
You got that. That's going to add to the overall amount.
Yeah. The other thing that we have to consider, that if anybody's had their pricing in the last little while, I'd probably go back and talk to the builder, because after January 1st, the building code changed. So we have to look at, they want the basements insulated, fully insulated.
Oh, interesting.
So you're either doing ICF or you're spray foaming the basement. There's a few other tweaks that they have had to do to the building code, because they're trying to make everything green energy, keep the green gas down, or to keep the emissions down.
Okay. Matt Lee, great advice. Thank you so
you.
much. I want to build a little hut.
All right,
The-
we can do it.
Okay, perfect.
Real estate tips brought to you by Matt Lee of Royal LePage.